LIDO is the leading liquid staking platform with over $6 billion of locked assets across Ethereum and Terra ecosystems, and more recently, they've just launched on Solana. My name is James Bacchini, and in this video, we'll be looking at how to stake Solana's native SOL token to get a 5.8% APR return on our investment. We'll start by looking at what liquid staking is and why it's important. Then we'll go on to look at some of the third-party integrations with digital wallets and DeFi protocols. And then finally, at the end of the video, we'll take a look at LIDO's LDO Governance Token, which I've actually taken a position in myself. So let's get started. On a blockchain network, which is secured via a proof-of-stake consensus algorithm, such as Solana, people can run their own validator nodes, and they can stake their SOL or their native token as part of a bond on that validator node to help secure the network. In exchange for doing this, the validator nodes will earn a reward, which will be a distribution of the native token, much like the mining rewards on a proof-of-work system like Bitcoin. Now, on some networks, such as Ethereum, for example, you need a high amount of the native token. I think it's 32 ETH, which is the best part of $100,000 to run a validator node. So what if you don't have that amount of funds, or you don't have the technical ability to set up and manage a node? And that's where LIDO Finance comes in with its liquid staking product. It will essentially allow users to deposit funds. The nodes will then go run the validators, which will gain the staking rewards, and those staking rewards will be given back to the users in the form of an increase in the amount of tokens in their wallet, minus a 10% fee. So with Solana, for example, the user will deposit the SOL token, and in return they'll get an ST SOL token, the same amount back. So they'll deposit one SOL, they'll get one ST SOL back, and then daily their balance in their wallet will be updated automatically as the distribution of them rewards comes in. So the first thing we're going to need to get started is a digital wallet and some funds. I'd recommend the Phantom wallet for Solana, and we can see once that's installed, it's added to Chrome, we can log in, and we have just under 1 Solana, 0.83 Solana here, which we can use for staking. So if we then go to lido.fi, lido.fi, we can go to stake now, and we can select our network as Solana. I'm not actually going to stake the max because I want to keep a little bit in my wallet to use for transaction fees, both for this transaction and then to remove from the wallet. Let's connect the wallet. I've read and accepted the terms of the policy. There we go, it's connected. So I'm going to stake 0.5 Solana. You can see the transaction cost is very little. We're going to get, in return for our 0.5 Solana, we're going to get back 0.5 ST Solana or staked Solana. And our annual percentage gains on that is going to be 5.82%. That's APR, so it's not compounded. Let's go ahead and submit this. Approve the transaction. And that's been successfully staked, and we can see that transaction on a block explorer like Solana Beach. There we go. And if we go into our Phantom wallet, you can see we've got LIDO staked SOL 0.5. We've had 0.5 taken away from our Solana balance. If at any time we want to unstake our Solana tokens, we can go to unstake, put the max amount in, click submit and confirm the transaction, and that'll turn our ST SOL token back into Solana. Bear in mind that with any DeFi protocol, there are some risks involved. The main risk here, I think, being smart contract vulnerabilities. The main code that has been audited on LIDO Finance is actually written for Ethereum, and that wasn't directly portable over to Solana, so they've had to write new contracts for the Solana pools. Having said that, the LIDO team has an excellent track record of writing quality code. They also have things like bug bounties set up, so they're doing everything they can to mitigate that risk. So what about this LDO Governance Token? Well, LIDO Finance is governed by the LIDO DAO, and they use the LDO token to vote on changes to the protocol. At the moment, that's all the utility there really is for the LDO token, and there's also not much liquidity. The circulating supply is roughly 3% of the total supply currently, so there's not a lot of tokens out there. And that's because a lot of the tokens are vested to be released from December this year in a linear vesting schedule. Those are going to the LIDO DAO, the team members, and also the early investors. There was a proposal that got narrowly rejected earlier this year, where some of the funds from the fees that LIDO charges get redirected to LDO token holders. I have a speculative thesis that eventually some of the value from the LIDO protocol would be returned to LDO token holders. And that's quite a lot when you consider they've already got $6.2 billion worth of assets under management. They're only charging fees on the staking returns, but that still works out to roughly $31 million a year already. I think there's a lot of room for growth, both vertically and horizontally, as they expand into new ecosystems. With Solana, they've already proved that they're not just restricted to EVM-compatible blockchains, and they can really expand to as many layer ones as the industry provides. They're also building a moat with third-party integrations such as Ledger Wallet, where you can actually stake Ethereum on the LIDO protocol from directly within the Ledger Live app. Alongside this, STETH and other LIDO staked tokens are being more widely accepted as collateral on DeFi protocols, meaning that yield farmers can stake their assets and then also use those staked tokens they get in return as collateral to go and do other yield farming strategies. And that kind of brings together the Lego bricks of DeFi, and it gives LIDO Finance a competitive advantage in that area. On the 5th of September, I allocated a small amount of roughly 1% of my digital asset portfolio over to the LDO token, because I think that a lot of the focus over the next 6 months is going to be on Ethereum's move from a proof of work algorithm over to a proof of stake algorithm. And I think that's going to shine the headlights on LIDO Finance and how users can gain a yield on their layer 1 assets. However, having said that, I think it's a really high risk punt because the volatility is going to be high because the liquidity is so low currently, and who knows what will happen when the invested tokens get released in December this year. So that's LIDO Finance and how to stake Solana's native SOL token to gain a yield on your holdings. I hope you've enjoyed this tutorial. There's more information linked to in the blog post in the description. Don't forget to hit the like button for the YouTube algorithm. And if you're interested in learning more about blockchain, then subscribe to the channel for updates. Thank you for watching.